Okay, now we're going to look at how the plants collect the sunlight. They do this with a chemical called chlorophyll. It's their green blood, and this is a solar collecting chemical. Now we saw in an earlier slide that the sun's peak output is in the yellow-green spectrum, around 600 nanometers. 600 millionths of a meter is the wavelength of the peak sunlight. So the sun is brightest in the yellow, and that's the color our eye likes the most. So you would think that the plant's chlorophyll would want to collect yellow light. But the fact is most plants are green or yellow, which means that they're reflecting the light. And you can't collect the light if you reflect the light. So if you see something that's red, it means the red light's bouncing off of it. You see something that's orange, the orange light is bouncing off of it. Okay? So if we look at the chlorophylls, the really weird part is they like collecting red light way down here. They love collecting the blue light way down here, and they completely ignore the 600 nanometer light that is the peak output color of the sun. That seems really odd. Why would the plants completely ignore where like 90% of the sunlight is? Why are they picking up the red and the blue and not the green? Could it be the way chlorophyll works? But if we could make a chlorophyll for plants that collected the sunlight in this 600 nanometer band, we're talking the plant would have about 100 times more energy than it currently does. Those plants could like grow 10, 20, 30, 40 times more fruit than they currently do and faster if we could find a way to get them to tap into that. So that's something I want you to think about. Why has nature never produced a chlorophyll that collects the brightest, most intense color from the sun? And I want you to think about what color would a plant have to be if it collected all the available sunlight. 100% of the light coming in, a plant could collect. What kind of color would it appear to your eye if it was collecting everything that fell on it? Now, right now, if you look at most plants, they're insanely bright colored, which means they're missing most of the sunlight. In fact, they miss about 99% of it. Plants only collect about 1% of the light that lands on them. So that's pretty pathetic, but it is for free. Now, what do we do when we eat the food provided by the plants? We do the dead opposite. The plant took in carbon dioxide and water, and it made sugar for us and oxygen. Then we take in the oxygen and the sugar, and we breathe it right back out again as carbon dioxide and urinate out water. Cell respiration is just photosynthesis going backwards. Do I expect you to spit this formula out on a test? No star up here. No, I do not. But by grade 10 and 11, they will expect you to learn this formula. So you can use it if you want, but you are not required to remember it. What I want you to be able to do is say plants take CO2, water, and they build strawberries and kick out oxygen. That's really where I'd want you to be. Okay? So the next topic is extremophiles, which is completely optional. And there'll be a link for it, but it's so cool that I doubt very much that if you start going through these slides, you'll find them pretty nifty.